Stop scrolling if you are the only person you know who actually gets excited when the temperature drops. Does the sound of a snowstorm make you feel relieved? While the rest of the world is fighting the gloom, your brain is doing something the other 90% of the population can't do. You aren't just tolerating the cold. You are experiencing a specific biological advantage that science calls contrast effect comfort. But here is the catch. Most people waste this advantage. Stick with me until the very last second of this video, because I'm going to show you not just why you are wired this way, but exactly how to use this unique brain chemistry to outperform everyone else while they are hibernating. This is your superpower. Let's unlock it. So, let's start with the most obvious question. Why does staying home feel objectively better in January than in July? I don't just mean acceptable, I mean genuinely, soul-satisfyingly perfect. Here is exactly what is happening in your brain. When it is freezing outside but warm inside, you are experiencing a psychological phenomenon called contrast effect comfort. Your nervous system is constantly scanning your environment. When you look out that window and see a gray, hostile world, but your body feels the warmth of a heater, your brain processes that difference as a reward. It releases a specific hit of satisfaction chemicals. You are safe. You are warm. You have secured resources. Summer does not give you this biological feedback loop. In summer, staying inside feels like a calculation of loss. The weather is nice, so your brain registers staying on the couch as avoiding something good. But in winter, the math changes completely. This ties into a concept in environmental psychology called refuge appeal. Humans are hardwired to find enclosed, protected spaces deeply satisfying when there is a perceived threat outside. Evolutionarily speaking, winter was a serious threat to our ancestors. So, when you are bundled up on your sofa while the wind howls outside, you are not being lazy. You are satisfying a deep, ancestral craving for safety. Your primitive brain is essentially throwing you a little dopamine party because you successfully found shelter. You are not hiding from the world. You are winning at survival. Beyond just feeling safe, let's talk about performance. Have you ever noticed that you actually think clearer in the winter? In July, you might struggle with what we call summer brain fog. But in January, there is often a sharp sense of mental clarity. This is not a coincidence, it is biology. First, consider the sensory environment. Summer is often a sensory assault. You have intense heat, blinding sunlight, and the constant noise of neighbors and outdoor traffic. For those of us with high sensory processing sensitivity, summer is chemically draining. Your nervous system is constantly on high alert, filtering out all that excess data. Winter, on the other hand, is nature's version of noise-canceling headphones. The shorter days mean less intense light. The cold keeps people inside, making the world quieter. It effectively turns down the volume of life. When your brain is not busy filtering out chaos, it has the bandwidth to focus on what matters. There is also a fascinating temperature component here. Research suggests that the optimal temperature for cognitive performance, your cognitive sweet spot, is actually cooler than you might think, typically around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It comes down to how your body manages energy. Your brain runs on glucose. When it is hot, your body burns through a significant amount of that energy just trying to cool you down and regulate your internal temperature. It is physically taxing work. But in the cooler months, your body doesn't have to waste resources on thermal regulation. That glucose gets redirected straight to your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for deep thinking and creativity. This is why you might finally finish that book or start that creative project in the dead of winter. You aren't being antisocial, you are simply operating in your optimal habitat. If you are still watching and realizing that your winter preference is actually a sign of biological efficiency, type the number 3 inches in the comments. Let me know that you are still here and passionate about discovering how your own mind works. Now that we know your brain operates better in the cold, let's look at your social life. This is where things get really interesting. In modern American culture, summer comes with a heavy psychological tax. I call it the tyranny of fun. From June to August, there is a pervasive, unspoken pressure to be aggressively happy. If you are not posting sunset photos, attending barbecues, or maximizing every hour of daylight, society makes you feel like you are failing. It is performative extroversion. For those of us who need solitude to recharge, summer feels like a 3-month shift where we are constantly forced to act out a personality that isn't ours. Winter changes the rules. It hands you the ultimate social shield. When it is 30 degrees outside, nobody questions why you are staying in on a Friday night. Saying it is too cold to go out is a universally accepted boundary. Winter legitimizes your need for isolation. You stop feeling guilty about canceling plans because the environment itself is telling everyone to slow down. This shifts your psychological state from FOMO, the fear of missing out, to JOMO, the joy of missing out. You aren't lonely, you are enjoying solitude. There is a massive difference. Loneliness is draining. Solitude is restorative. Winter allows you to reclaim your time and attention without the social friction. You are finally free to exist without an audience. Let's try a little psychological experiment right now. If you are resonating with this need for zero pressure, comment the number 0 below. But here is the twist. If you actually don't like this video, maybe it is hitting too close to home, go ahead and hit the like button anyway. Let's see if the algorithm prefers the honest zeros or the ironic likes. But there is one final piece of the puzzle that we usually treat as the villain: the darkness. We are constantly told that early sunsets are depressing. And yes, seasonal affective disorder is real and serious. But for the winter personality, the darkness serves a completely different positive function. It acts as a hard boundary in a world that refuses to give you one. Think about the anxiety of a long summer day. The sun is still out at 9 p.m. Your brain sees the light and thinks, I should still be productive. I should be doing something. The day feels endless, sprawling, and uncontainable. It is exhausting because there is no clear signal to stop. Winter cures this with what psychologists call temporal compression. When the sun sets at 4:30 p.m., the day has a clear, definitive end. The darkness physically shrinks your world down to the size of your living room. This isn't claustrophobic. It is containing. It creates a cozy container for your attention. More importantly, it aligns with your biological design. We live in a hustle culture that expects us to operate like machines maintaining the same high output 365 days a year. But nature is cyclical. Trees go dormant. Animals hibernate. When you embrace the winter darkness, you are subconsciously rejecting that toxic productivity culture. You are honoring your circadian rhythm. The dark is a biological permission slip signed by nature itself, telling you that it is okay to power down. You aren't losing daylight, you are gaining permission to rest. For the winter person, the early sunset isn't an end. It is the beginning of the time that actually belongs to you. So, ultimately, being a winter person isn't just a preference about the weather. It is a revealing psychological trait. It signifies that you prioritize depth over breadth and stillness over stimulation. You possess the unique ability to find comfort in the quiet, a skill that is becoming increasingly rare in our hyper-connected world. Here is the takeaway. Stop apologizing for your hibernation. Society might tell you that you are shutting down, but science tells us you are simply recharging your efficient brain. Do not wish these cold months away waiting for the real life of summer to begin. You are already living a rich, meaningful life right now, just at a different frequency. Embrace the cold, honor the darkness, and use this season to come back to yourself. If you are ready to continue this journey of self-discovery, click the video on the screen now. I break down exactly how to design your living space to maximize this introvert energy. I will see you there.